Welcome. The session is Story of the Fisherman, Dissecting Fishing Techniques of Cloud Dragon APT. I'm Jillian Paul, or you can call me Linda. I'm currently working in Team T5 as a senior threat intelligence analyst, and I've been invited to different international conferences, including Black Hat or Cold Blue, Econ, etc. And I focus on APT attacks and financial intrusions.
I'm Liao Zixin. DocLL is my personal ID in the internet. I'm a threat intelligence researcher in Team T5. Sometimes I'm a speaker of security conferences like Cold Blue and Black Hat. My research focuses on APT.
Before we get started, let's go through what we are going to discuss today. At the very first place, of course, we are going to define the group Cloud Dragon. We will talk about the group and how the definition of this group. And in this conference, we will be very technical. We will go very deeper to the technical part. So in the second and the third part, we will talk about the techniques and the malware being used by this group. And of course, at the very last part, we'll give a key takeaway of all the presentation of today. So, who is Cloud Dragon? There are actually a lot of names that you might have heard of, or you've been heard that others connected to this group, including APT-37 or Kimsuki. We try to divide the Kimsuki into two different groups. The first one is the Kimsuki released by Kaspersky in their report back in 2013. And another one is the public known Kimsuki that you can see in current years in a lot of news or a lot of reports. Like 3 or 4 years ago, we tried to connect the APT-37 with the public known Kimsuki. With the shellcode we found, they are identical. However, after years of research and further analysis, we think it actually can be divided this way. The Kaspersky Kimsuki in 2013 will be called Kim Dragon by us, and the public known Kimsuki is the character of today, the Cloud Dragon. So let's see how Cloud Dragon be a fisherman. How do they work and how do they perform their techniques? First, we like to talk about their target scope. In the victims we've observed, we found them attacking these countries, including South Korea, United States, Japan, and some countries in the Europe region. And of course, for their targeted industry, they like to attack like government agencies, research institutes, military, financials for sure, and high-tech companies or aerospace and energy. There are actually other service providers being abused, including those that are the largest one in South Korea, like Daum and Naver, and others been used widely in other countries, like Outlook.com or Gmail. These are the official sites of the largest web portal of South Korea, the Daum and Naver. Take a deeper look at the domain name of the site, because we are too sure the registered ones. Since not all of you are from South Korea, so might not be so familiar with their domain, so we have the real one, the spelling on the right, and as you can see, this is what the actors register. Instead of Naver, they register Navor, and for sure Daum in another way, and Gmail. Since we all know Gmail, so that's what they register. So as you can see, there are a lot of domains that we can categorize into 4 different groups. Of course, there are others, but basically there are 4 groups, including Naver, Dawn, Microsoft, the Outlook, and Google. So how do they actually work? How do they how do they attack the victims? This is how it works. First, they will attend the account's access. Then they will retrieve the contacts in the accounts and send phishing emails to these contacts. Since they send phishing emails, that could be, again, they can attend more access to different accounts. In other words, this is how it works. From the phishing email, if we assume one can bring another 2 different email accounts, then the more it will impact. So at the very end, it will be thousands of email accounts being abused or being accessed. But how does all these work?
I'm going to introduce their delivery method. They mainly have 2 ways to send phishing email: phpMailer and SendGrid. The first is phpMailer. phpMailer is an open source project. It is a powerful PHP library. Developer can easily send email with phpMailer. It supports authentication methods such as PLAN, TLS, OAuth, and etc. It can also attach file to attach like decoy or some malware. Using phpMailer, send a large number of email is not a difficult thing. If the actor sends from compromised site, the sender IP will not be able to check. This is an open directory on CloudDragon C2. We can see phpMailer folder here. I sort out the open directory into file tree below. There is a phpMail release package here under the module folder. The version of phpMailer is 6.0.7, which was released in 2019. We surmise they use this method for a long time. This test.py is an email list for testing. Those emails in this file may be the actor's email. This .py is an email list of target. Mailer.php is the main program which sends email. By using query string, it can send email to a specific email. But the content of Mailer.php can be observed in open directory. Final is Sender.py. It reads the list of mail and make requests. This is the content of Sender.py. There is 3 arguments in the send mail function: to email, to Gmail, and avatar URL. We surmise this is an operation which fake account irregular active detect of Google. The email will send the backup email of target with a phishing link. The workflow is shown as below. Sender.py read this.py and make requests to Mailer.php. Mailer.php will use phpMailer library to send phishing email to target. Except open directory, We also discovered the footprint of PHP mailer from victims' email. You can see that CloudDragon used a fake sender email in phishing. The second delivery method is SendGrid. SendGrid is an email delivery service. You can send 100 emails per day for free. It supports lots of program language. PHP is no exception. Here is another Open Directory case. The architecture is similar to previous one. The main phishing program is under CH folder. Transform.php is the main program to send email. The send name z3.py is a script to make requests. z1.txt is the target list, and Kubernetes z1.php is its log. You can see here is enc URL.php. It's used to encrypt the query string of the link. The detail of encrypt URL will be discussed in the next part. Final is the release package of SendGrid. From its changelog, its version is 7.3.0, which is released in 2019. This is the content of transform z3.py. It's released here and make requests here. You can see the extra didn't forget to make a log. The workflow is shown here. Transform z3.py with the z1.txt and make requests to the sendname PHP file, and the transform.php encrypt query string via enc URL and send the email via SendGrid service. From a real phishing email, we can see SendGrid info in the email header. Here is the SendGrid, and here SendGrid. From previous two cases, we can know CloudDragon is good at Python and PHP. They are stronger rating but not good at bloating. In order to execute PHP code, they put all related code to web service, and that code cause the code be leaked. The next part is the evolution of phishing. We will introduce 3 types of phishing. Let's see how to be a big fisherman. First of all, I'm going to introduce traditional phishing method. This is a real phishing site obtained in 2019. The page is very similar to the real one, but there is a bug, because in the real website, there should be an advertisement on the right side. But if you are the user of AdBlock, you may not find this bug. Okay, the query string of this website is very simple. Pyramid N is used to control different modes. There are 4 modes here: view input password for my info, and view input password, view download and change password. Those are the page for phishing. And the pyramid token help is the best system for encoded username. The structure is shown as follows. Mobile detect.php is a common element of CloudDragon. It distinguishes mobile phone and computer user and lead them to different phishing pages. Download.php is often used to show decoy and download something. Error.php will appear when the query string passes error. It is used to prevent other people from random visits to the website and discover it is a phishing website. Most of the process control will be implemented in index.php. Log is another common element in CloudDragon's phishing site. It's used to log users' behavior and credential. Mobile underscore and PC underscore as the prefix are the content of phishing mob page. Victim data will be recorded and stored in the result folder. The workflow is shown as below. The entry point is index.php. If the query string pass failed, the error string will be shown. And if it's pass success, it will detect the display according to the device and mode. Final log and credential are recorded in the result folder through log.php.
So we're going to share another traditional phishing case. I know most of you might lose your patience, think that why are you always talking about the traditional one instead of talking about the evolution and new things? Because there's still something new compared to the previous case. So we're still going to share and to talk about it. In this case, they are trying to target the Apple user. So as you can see, the query string is as well very simple, but there are some difference, including the first one, the parameter n is missing. Why? What does that mean? That means that they are not creating other different phishing mode. And what's the reason behind? We think there might be two possible reasons, including perhaps that is the only Apple login page it has, or the actors were just too tired to create other mode. And there's another new parameter called last. It means the index of the exit page that will be redirected after the user login. As you can see, the website structure is actually similar to the previous one, but please look at the first line in the very top. There is a decoy document in this case. And there are two other things to be highlighted. The first one is the link PHP. It will jump to index PHP with a specific query string. And for the PDF PHP, because in this case, we have the decoy document, so this PHP will display the PDF document. And from the decoy document, like we show here, it's obvious they are saying like 2020, Happy New Year. So this attack is targeting in last year during the New Year times. So, do a quick wrap up. We think that the attack runs in this way. First, the actor might send emails to their targets, And the email itself might contain either the PDF PHP or the link PHP. And both of them will be redirected to the index PHP, which will then trigger the Apple login page. So the victim or the target will see the page you see at the very first. And finally, not similar, but the same as previous one, the log PHP will do the same thing. It will record the information and save them to the folder result. So that is the traditional phishing cases.
After reviewing the traditional phishing skill, finally, we are going to show something new. First is Proxy Mirror. It's implemented with PHProxy, an open source project. The advantages are as follows. Because the crawler gets the content of real site in real time, so the phishing page will update itself, and the update cost of actor is relatively small. PHProxy can easily modify the content during the crawling process. Another advantage is different from traditional phishing. Proxy Mirror is connected to the real website. Therefore, the account and password can be verified. I believe there are a lot of people who forget the right password in traditional phishing. Next, we will use a real case to describe this trick. The phishing email of Proxy Mirror is shown as below. The email content is an abnormal login of account. There is a link with encryption query string on the email. Here is the encryption query string link. After clicking that link, it redirects to another phishing site, and the query string will be decrypted into plain text. The red link above is the link in the email. After connect to CC1, the browser is redirected to CC2 and pull the query string. We call this technique URL hopping. The hopping point can limit visitor and avoid be checked. Most of email scanner can do dynamic check the redirect. It can only see the hopping point CC1, not the real phishing site CC2. If the hopping point is down, the real phishing site will disappear. It makes it difficult to check phishing site for researchers. Then, see the query string of Proxy Mirror. Pyramid page is the best 16-4 encoded username. And Pyramid P is another best 16-4 encode. After decode, there are 3 fields split with slash. The first field is hardcode VIP, and the second and third field will be a 4-digit number like 1001, 1002, which is the exit page index. Pyramid U is the proxy target URL. So this is today's first demo. I'm going to show the Proxy Mirror. This is the phishing site built by CloudDragon, and it's used proxy mirror technique. So I'm going to test the proxy function in this demo. So to test the function of proxy, I need to change the parameter u, which is the target of proxy. And I enter the dang.net, which is another protocol in Korean. Oh, you can see that this proxy has a redirect function. So even I enter dang.net, it redirects to www.dang.net. And you can see all of the HTML elements are proxied. So we enter the dang, and this proxy work very well. All elements are correct. Okay, so let's look this demo again. Okay, so now we know that the proxy is work. Let's see how to use proxy to phishing. First, the proxy will connect to the real login page, which is never in this case, and change the login firm. Then, after the user, the victim, submit the username and password. The proxy will send the username and password to log file and real site. If the response of real site shows that it's login successful, the username and password will be sent to confirm.php. This step increases the availability of phishing information. Here is another proxy mirror demo. I'm going to show if the actor get my correctly username and password, how the phishing site works. So the first step, I enter the proxy mirror phishing site, and that is my username, and I copy my password from password management. My password manager, and I click submit. Okay, let's put the video. And we can see here, the phishing site sent a request to confirm.php. The query string is my username and password. So after the phishing site check the availability of my account and login success, it will be redirected to the real site, which is mail.naver.com. Let's see this demo again. Okay, today's final evolution of phishing is phishing bot. More and more web services provide two-factor authentication. When users log in, the system requires a one-time password which can receive from some app or SMS. CloudDragon is a professional fisherman. Fishing with two-factor authentication is not a difficult thing. FishingBot contains two services, Fishing Website and FishingBot. They use Ajax to communicate with. FishingBot synchronously operates browser in the C2 with Selenium. Okay, so we start from the real case. This case is target service down. The link is the same as proxy mirror is used the URL hopping technique. So the link in email will jump to link to the hopping point and redirect to the phishing site. And here is the same. It uses the same key and same IV value. Okay, let's see the query string. The parameter token help is the same as username, but this time it's without base 16-fold encode. Parameter n is the mode. The detailed analysis of mode will show in the next page. And the parameter length is the index of this page. Okay, so before we introduce the mode page, there are something you should know. There are two authentication methods for down service. And one is down and other is Kakao. The login page of two are different. So the FishingBot is very smart. FishingBot will automatically recognize the type of account and display different page. This is the page of FishingBot show. You can see it's a simple login page. This is another mode called Login OPT. This is the page for receive OTP call and input the OTP call to the system. Different from the real page, this page is static, but the real site page will show the phone number. And next is verify mode. This is to imitate the user after login. Need to confirm the password again. And the last one is edit mode. This page is mainly to check user into change their password. And it's presumed to be matched with the previous verify mode to allow to let victim to believe it's okay to change the password here. Okay, so I'm going to introduce how FishingBot phishing with two-factor. Victim visits phishing site, here login page, and input his account and password. The FishingBot will receive it and open a browser to the real website and try use this account and password to login. After successful login, the browser will show OTP page now. And after bot confirm its need OTP, it will redirect the victim page from login page to OTP page. The victim will receive the OTP code from his mobile and enter the OTP code to the OTP page. The bot will receive the OTP code and immediately input the OTP code to the browser. So now the browser is logging company successful, and the bot will redirect the victim page into the real website. Victim cannot identify the login step is done by phishing. This is the final demo today. I'm going to show how phishing bot work. We obtained the phishing bot source code from Open Directory. In this demo video, the left-hand side will be C2 side, and the right-hand side will be victim side. So the first thing is I should launch the phishing bot. You can see it's just a Python script and listen port. And next, in victim side, I visited the phishing website. Okay, when the phishing website send the account info to the phishing bot, the phishing bot open browser automatically, and the browser is a real Kakao page. And in phishing site, I enter my password and click submit. The bot will receive my credential and fill the account information to the real website. So now the real website just redirect to the the OTP page, and the phishing site will redirect too. But you can see here, the real site has my phone, but the fake site didn't have. I enter my OTP code received from SNS. Okay, so the bot just got my OTP code and fill the OTP code to the real website. So now the phishing bot just control my account now. Wow. And the victim side will redirect to the real website. They are the same step now. Wow. I know what you want. Let's see this demo again. In the next chapter, we will introduce the malware they used. CloudDragon doesn't just send a phishing email to get users' account. CloudDragon also uses stolen account to send malicious email. This social engineer technique to let a victim to click the attached file in the malicious email. The common malicious file formats such as WinPE, WinInstaller, WSF script, HTS script, macro document, and exploit HWP. Next, we will introduce two well-known malware of CloudDragon, Baby Shark and Genbug. In 2019, Uni42 published two Baby Shark reports. Let's quickly review. The malicious macro document will download an HTA file, and the HTA file uses 3 channels to fetch the command express.php, call.php, upload.php. The C2 has lots of encrypt payload, such as partial format will execute like dir, execute some program and keylog, and also some script type backdoor, and moreover, the backdoor can be some PE format executable file. The way to identify Baby Shark is very simple. It has a Unicode transportation encryption method. The decrypt function is in the HTA file. Okay, you can see the decryption function like this. And the payload download from the C2 will be decrypted to plain text in HTA. In 2020, we find a new Baby Shark sample. In the macro document, there are two main functions. The first one is similar to the previous Baby Shark. It's remove of its macro protection. And the second function is to drop a VBS file. The VBS file will collect the antivirus info and send it back to the C2 through his.php. We surmise that actor collect this information and carry out the antivirus testing for the next stage of the backdoor. And you can see the send encryption method still exists, but the decryption function is not used to decrypt the second stage payload. It is used to decrypt the encrypt VB script in macro. After decrypt function in the macro, you can see the plain text VB code. And if you look closely, you can find the send decrypt function inside. You need to decrypt 3 times to get the final payload. The next malware is Genbug, as known as Apple C or Auto Update. We first seen it in the 2019, and still it's still widely used now. Genbug is the main backdoor of CloudDragon. In addition to Windows version, there's an Android version now. Here is the introduce of Windows version Genbug. We can see that we can see here the two earlier sample have is PDB string. When we discover the first sample, incubation, we use the pronunciation of incubation in Korean to name this malware. Later, we found another sample, Apple seed. Maybe this backdoor should be called Utopia. The most common delivery method for Genbug is through WSF script. There are two base64 encoded files in the script, and the script file will decode and drop and execute them. The workflow is shown as follows. WSF script drop two files, decoy and Genbug. The common format of decoy is HWP, PDF, and Office document. Genbug will be executed by Regis Server 32. This is because Genbug usually has an export function DLL register server, which is the entry point of Regis Server 32. In some versions, Genbug will inject into Explorer. Genbug will copy itself to the Windows Defender folder under App Data and rename to autoupdate.dll and set up a registry to be persistent. In order to avoid antivirus signature scan, most of strings in Genbug are encrypted. The decryption function is shown as below. I know it's a little bit hard to read, so I prepare a Python version. Okay, you can see the cipher is a hex string. So first, convert it back to the byte array, and the header 16 bytes are the key, and the remaining data is the cipher, and put them into a variant XOR decryption. We will get the plain text. The decryption string is here. You can see that they are all Windows API. Yes, Genbug built its owner import table when the program is start. All of data sent by Genbug are encrypted by the following algorithm. The data will be compressed into zip file format, and then it will generate random bytes, 16 bytes key, and doing XOR encryption. And after encryption the data, it will calculate a checksum to put here, and final put a magic header, which is similar to PDF files header in the beginning. The packaged file is shown as below. You can see the magic header and the CRC checksum and 16 bytes export key and the encryption data here. So all the upload file will be this format in Genbug. Here is my script to decrypt the file. Of course, I didn't verify CRC. There are 4 main commands in Genbug. For command 0, it executes Windows command shell via cmd.exe and return the execution result. For command 1, it will execute a DLL using Retrieve Server 32. For command 2, it will execute DLL in memory. For command 3, it will upload file which actual one. In addition to Genbug's command, there are several functions in Genbug. I call it flag function here. There are keyboard monitor, screen monitor, folder monitor, and USB monitor. Genbug will check whether this file exists in the flag folder, which is in the work directory. If the file exists, the corresponding function will be turned on. Here is the flag function screen monitor. It will take screenshot and upload it to C2. You can see the essential Windows API get desktop window here. And the keyboard monitor will record keylog and upload it to C2. The special key will transduce specific text like back, tab, enter, control, and pause. The folder monitor will monitor 3 users' folder: desktop, download, and document. If there is a new file in those folders, Genbug will upload it to C2 immediately. The USB monitor will monitor if there is a removable device plugged in. If the device inserts, it will issue a command dir/s. This command means to list all the directory and file under this removable device, and the list result will upload it to C2. In Genbug's traffic pattern, there are 5 query strings for community with C2. Use parameter n as mode identifier. Mode A, print a heartbeat. Mode B, upload file to C2. Mode C, download the command from C2. Mode D, delete the command on C2. And mode E, it will download the new version Genbug and upgrade itself.
So now we are going to make conclusion. We will now give a quick wrap up of what our presentation today has. The first, we talk about the group CloudDragon, how we define the group, including its target scope. and the service it have been abused. And the second part, we talk about their fishing skills, their advanced and interesting fishing skills, from their delivery method to the traditional fishing skills, which is similar to others, and to their two evolution, including proxy mirror and fishing bot. And the very last part, we talk about their the malware they've been used, including the popular one, Baby Shark, its new findings, and a thorough analysis on its favored malware CodeGenBug. So this is the presentation for today, and may you have any kind of question regarding this group or anything regarding APT in APAC, please feel free to contact us as our email account. Thank you.